What is up, my beautiful people? Hope you're having a marvelous day. Exile451 here with yet another daily dose of Reddit Happy. Hope you all had a great weekend. Let's get back into the swing of things with some stories from r/Ask Reddit that I'm sure you're gonna love. No commentary as usual until the end for Ask Reddit, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Okay, so the question for this Ask Reddit is, what is the nicest thing a stranger has done for you? My dogs found a wallet under some bushes on a late night walk. It wasn't soaked, even though it had rained a lot, so I knew it was recently dropped/dumped. I looked through it, and there was no cash but a student ID, bank card, driver's license, etc. for a guy from Australia. But this was in the UK. I Facebook stalked him with all my best private eye skills and left messages everywhere. Then, early next morning, he got in touch. He was only in the UK for a couple of days as part of a European holiday and had had his wallet lifted that evening. Now he had all his ID back. He hadn't even noticed it was gone. And he was able to carry on to Amsterdam later that day, where it probably got stolen again. Very satisfying. I once got on a train late at night. I was going from start to end of the line to change, which was nearly an hour journey. When I got on the train, there were two other people. One young man and a much older, grumpy-looking man. After the second stop, the young man became aggressive toward me for rejecting him and was trying to pull me off the train to do who knows what to me, and the old man helped me get him off the train and away from me. After I'd thanked him and he calmed me down, I was very upset. He sat down in the row behind me and looked out of the window. When I got off, he did too. He waited on the same platform as me, just further down from me, so I assumed he was waiting for the same connection. He wasn't. Train comes and I get on. I see him stand up, wave, and walk to the stairs to get back to the platform going the other way. The man had missed his stop, waited on the wrong platform, and then went right on back, all while saying nothing, just to make sure I was okay. I think about that man often. I wish I could thank him for that. I was on a bus freaking out about how I was going to feed my fiance, as I was the only person working, and it was a 100% commission job. A stranger heard me on the phone freaking out on the verge of tears, and politely alerted me I had dropped some money. It was $40, and me and my fiance used every penny. I never got to thank them, but I quit that job I think a week or so later, and I found something way more stable. And then a comment on that same post. Somebody did this to me and my fiance too. I've posted about it before. We were at McDonald's with our book bags and bundled up because we were homeless. We just wanted to get a drink to be able to sit inside and wait a few minutes before heading out to Panhandle. We ordered the drink, but were paying with mostly nickels and dimes, and then got down to the pennies. I had dropped some of the change, and both of us were flustered trying to scoop it up. Then a woman tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You dropped this," and handed me something. I took it and realized it was cash. I looked closer and realized it was a $100 bill, which obviously I had not dropped. I looked back for her, but she had gone back to her table already. I nudged my fiance and handed him the money and said, "This woman gave me this so we can get some food. Will you order us some meals?" Before I went to the bathroom to cry. He didn't even realize what was going on. He thought I had handed him a 10. He only realized what was up when the McDonald's dude gave him $90 in change. I went to her table to thank her on the way out, and she hugged me. Very nice McDonald's lady. There were always kind people when I was homeless though. A guy who gave us $20 at the train station, all the people who gave money while I was flying my sign, people who took me to eat or brought warm food. I was a heroin addict at the end of my rope, wanting to give up, and all this constant generosity moved me. I started out panhandling mostly to buy heroin, eat, and sleep in the shelter. After a few months of this generosity, I started taking the money to the methadone clinic instead. Now, I've been at the methadone clinic for 2.5 years, live with my family, have a car and a job. And I try to pay it forward and give it to homeless people whenever I see them and can afford it. Went up to Snowbird in Park City, totally forgot my snowboarding mitts at home, and was gonna board barehanded because I wasn't about to drop $50 on a pair of gloves. This dad with 3 kids overhears my conversation and offers to let me borrow his extra pair of gloves for the day. Mind you, this man has never seen me before. I could have walked away with the gloves and not say a word after the day. He gave me his number, not the other way around, and told me to just text him when he's done so I can drop it off for him. 5 to 6 hours later, I call this man up and he had already left the mountain. I ended up hiding the gloves behind a booth and sent him a picture of where it's at because he planned on coming back up the mountain again. Genuinely amazing man. Wish I could have left some cash or something for him, but I didn't have any on me. My mother and I were visiting Carlsbad Caverns, New Mexico back in 2011 or so, and the tank hit empty just as we got there. We didn't worry as we saw a gas station right before the main entrance. However, we got done in the caverns and came out to find the gas station closed and not even taking credit cards. It's the only one without going back into town, which we couldn't make it to. As we're standing there trying to see if we had service and what to do, a young couple comes up and asks what's wrong. We explain the situation, and they suddenly offer to grab us some gas from town and bring it back, as they were running back to town for something before continuing back on the same highway. They told us to go grab some food at a nearby cafe and they'll find my car and leave the gas can for us. We offered them money, but they didn't want any, saying it was just a couple bucks to fill my small can. So we trust them and go grab food. As we're coming out, there's my gas can, full, sitting next to my car. I'm so thankful for that random lovely couple. I also now prepare better in regards to my gas tank. I love telling this story as it helped me fall in love with the city I'd just moved to. So here I am, a 23-year-old graduate who's just moved to a brand new city for my first real adult job. I'd just finished my first week of work and my colleagues had decided we would go for an after-work drink in the city center as we have half-day Fridays. I, living in the city center, get to the bar first as it was just around the corner from my home. As I'm standing at the bar looking up at the drinks menu, taking in all the options, a chap comes in, stands next to me and says, what a lovely day it is," and I respond politely agreeing, and he's carrying on making conversation. "So, what brings you to the pub so early?" To which I explain I'd just moved to the city, just finished my first week, and about to have my first beer in the city. Well then, welcome." Eventually, the barman comes up to me and asks what I'd like, and as I answer, the man I'd just met went, "Oh no, I'll get this chap's drink. It's on me." I then thank him and respond, "It's alright, you don't have to." No, welcome to the city. I just hope that one day when my son has his first beer after his first week, someone would do the same for him. That small act of kindness from a random stranger welcoming me to a new, big, scary city made me know straight away I was going to like it here, and I love it. When I was really ill in October 2017, my father also became even more ill than I was in another country. There was nobody else around for him who gave a crap, so I had to fly over there to see/support him and bring him home with me after he had recovered from the surgery. I had just been through a lot of trauma and I was in no physical shape or emotional state to be getting on a plane, but there was literally no other option. The flight was only around 2 hours, but even that was way too much for someone as weak/frail as I was. When I was waiting in line to board the plane, I could immediately feel myself getting dizzy/panicky, but that got a lot worse when I got onto the plane and when it started to take off. I started having a full-blown panic attack, hyperventilating and crying in the seat. I was sitting at the window and there was a rather large man sitting in the middle and his daughter on the outer seat. The man noticed me crying and he and his daughter switched seats. She took my hand and said something along the lines of, "You're okay here. There's no need to hold this anxiety back. We're not going to judge you. Just let it happen. Everything will be all right." She just hugged me and told me she's so sorry while I hysterically cried. Once we landed, she and her father drove me in their car to the door of the hospital my dad was admitted to, over an hour away. They even offered to book me a hotel for a night or two, but I already had accommodations sorted out. I don't know what I would have done without those people that day. We have each other on Facebook and she occasionally checks in with me. Easter Day 2013, car was broken down in a small town between Arizona and Utah. Alternator was broken. Was 18 at the time with 3 other friends. A man saw us all panicking as we were trying to get back to our college town. He had been a mechanic or something, I don't know, and recognized that we had something wrong with our alternator. He spent 3 hours working on it and fixing it, and only asked us for the money it costs for the new part he needed. Once he finished, we drove 2 miles and broke down again. He had been following us to make sure we were okay for the first few miles, and then got a rope and pulled us back to the shop/gas station area he was helping us at. He spent another 2 hours and fixed it perfectly. We drove home and got back without any issue. Throughout all of this, him and his girlfriend were bringing us water and buying us pizza for absolutely no other reason than being a good person. This man spent his entire Easter Sunday helping a group of poor college kids get their car fixed and back to their college town. You know, in a day and age like this, when everyone is so distrusting of other people, it's so good to hear that there are still good people out there that are willing to go out of their way just to help strangers. If you have an opportunity to do so this coming week, I'd encourage you to do the same. Find a way that you can help someone, serve someone else, and see how much you benefit their lives. I promise you, you will not regret doing so. But, like I said, this just goes to prove that there are still good people out there who will do the right thing without any thought of reward, and they deserve to be acknowledged. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I truly appreciate all the support you guys have given the channel, for watching these videos, the likes, the shares, everything you all have done to bring us to where we are now. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you can get more of your daily dose of Reddit Happy. Also, feel free to check out the channel on social media at the links in the description. Now you guys go out there, have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, I'm Exile451. Stay beautiful, people.